Hello everyone, Mizio here. As some of you may remember, last week, or at least a week or so ago, I made a vlog on NBC's new show, The Cape. Most of my thoughts on it were pretty negative, so the whole thing was pretty much a waste of time for me to watch, because it was just stupid. Anyway, I watched another new show a few days ago, Syfy's new show, Being Human. I've seen previews for this for quite a while, and sci-fi shows are pretty decent. I mean, they're always pretty light for my taste, so I've never gotten into them as much as I've gotten into, for example, HBO shows. But, I mean, this looked worth watching, even if it probably was gonna suck, which is what I thought before I watched it. But, surprisingly enough, for me at least, it was actually really good. I enjoyed pretty much all of it. It was so nice to watch a new show after The Cape that was really good, or at least pretty good, after that suckfest. Anyway, Being Human. It was overall pretty light, what I expected from a sci-fi show. But it did have its dark moments, which was pretty nice. Like, for example, when they showed everyone being slaughtered at the wedding, or at least afterwards. So, it's about this vampire and this werewolf, and to protect each other, they choose to live together in an apartment, and the apartment is haunted by a ghost. So, it's about a ghost, a vampire, and a werewolf. It sounds stupid, but it's actually really quite good and quite entertaining. I know this new show is based off of an older BBC show, I guess. I've never seen that before, so I'm not really sure how this is compared to that. I've heard it's pretty similar, but I can't really tell. I know they do plan to change it from the original show later in the season, though, so for anyone that matters to, there you go. I thought the humor throughout it was really, really good. It's like it wasn't forced at all. You laughed where you should have laughed, whereas with The Cape, you laughed at spots where you really shouldn't have laughed. You weren't supposed to. The humor in this was just perfect. It flowed well. The acting was great. I recognized the main guy, I mean the werewolf and the vampire, the main people in it, but the vampire seems to have a bigger role. Anyway, most of you, or at least Star Wars people, will recognize him as the person who Starkiller in The Force Unleashed was modeled after. His real name is Sam Witwer, I believe. But he was actually very good in it. I like him better in this than I like him in The Force Unleashed. Of course, that may just be because The Force Unleashed kinda is getting sucky, but I won't go there. The werewolf, I've always liked the person who's played him. I've seen him before in other things, but I can't remember offhand what his name is, but he was really good in it too. It's kind of a new take on werewolves. He's not just this tough guy like in True Blood, whereas all the vampires and the werewolves are just kind of cliche. He was actually really quite shy and kind of wussy. So, that was an interesting take on that. I do have to wonder how, I mean, the vampires nowadays are very different from what they used to be, as everyone knows. In this show, it's the same as most vampire things nowadays. The vampire wasn't even affected by sunlight, so I guess we're never gonna go back to that and anything centering on vampires again. Okay, even though that was a main thing in vampire movies and such way back when, I guess we're just not going there anymore. It'd be interesting if something actually did make them, make sunlight damage them and hurt them at some point, but I guess Being Human isn't going to be that thing. But yeah, the story was good. It left us with a nice cliffhanger, and the emotion throughout the whole thing was just very well done too. I mean, for a relatively light, fun, entertaining show, it was, and for just the first episode in the whole series, you immediately started caring about the characters, and that's something you really don't get very often. You have to really grow to like characters, at least I do. And, at least in shows, like things like books, it's easier because you can get inside their heads pretty quickly, but that's a separate thing. So I think that it's a great start to this whole series. I'm definitely going to be watching it next Monday. At least, yeah, I think that's when it airs, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I'm definitely going to be keeping up with this series. Hopefully it won't go downhill from this. I don't think it's going to, because the previews for next week, at least, look pretty good. Of course, previews for next episodes of a lot of shows look good, and sometimes they end up sucking, so I guess I can't really base my expectations off that, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, Being Human, check it out. I haven't seen it yet because I haven't gone to the Syfy website, but I assume they'll have it up on their website to watch because it's been a couple of days now, and they usually have shows up that are sci-fi shows, like Stargate Universe. I remember they had that for a while after the episodes aired, so if you didn't see it the night it aired, like I did, definitely check it out on the website because it's good. It's really genuinely good. I enjoyed it a lot. So, there we go. There's my good show for this vlog. Don't know when I'll be watching any other new series, so don't really know if I'm going to make another vlog like this and the last one focusing on new shows. But if I do, whether it's good or bad, I'll let you all know and make another vlog on it. Check out Being Human. See y'all.